Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Yes! I feel like I've been waiting for this my entire life.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jolly good fun. Jolly good.
Locking down the middle of the day.
America's favorite daytime fun show.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
We'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio tomorrow. Not today, though. One more time at the Ameristar Casino and Resort in Council Bluffs, Iowa, across the river from Omaha, Nebraska, where LSU reclaimed a spot atop the college baseball world with its 8th national championship last night. Michael Cauble, sports director at Channel 2, has been there the entire way here in Omaha, good enough to give us time one more time on this Monday. Cauble, you ready to go home?
Yeah, we're getting there, man. I think I know you won't believe this, but we're having lunch at the Drover, and I know you won't believe this next part either. Guess who I ran into at the bar? Chris Guillot. So we were just sitting here kind of decompressing and, sharing our stories. So definitely good to have this extra day for them to not be playing today. I think that's what most of us that have been here for the grind are most thankful for right now.
I am seeing a lot of LSU fans who are just drinking a tall beer at lunch and kind of looking around going, what are we supposed to do? My dad and his buddy are two of them. They don't know what to do. I came to prep for my show, and I was like, where'd y'all go? We're up in the room. Like, we don't know what to do. But, yeah, it's been a heck of a run. I'm curious what your thoughts were down on the field last night.
I think just, the excitement for those guys. It's such a journey, right? And we get just a little taste of the grind that they go through and the dedication that they have, the commitment to their teammates. I think, it's appreciation for that and thankfulness that they got to fulfill their dreams. Some of these guys have a national title, but for most of them, it's going to be their first and hopefully not their last, right? That's something we can talk about. But I just think you're excited for the team because the commitment that they made to make it happen. And man, did they make it happen, right? Like, that's the other part of it. I think about this team as a total team. 2023 was pretty awesome. I feel like this team is a lot more complimentary and that everybody kind of shouldered a little bit of burden along the way. And that probably makes it a little bit sweeter for that team, too, I would think.
Did you know Daniel Dickinson had a broken hand?
I knew there was something wrong with his hand. Obviously, I saw him with the brace. But no, he never let on that he had that. And it was interesting, too, because, he was still doing everything, even with that little brace on. So I was like, man, did I just miss that during the regular season? But, yeah, when I saw him, I think it was 2 games ago with the brace on, I was like, that's interesting. But, again, right, just think of the grinding in silence, right, and just going about their business. It exemplifies certainly what their head coach is all about, and it trickles down to the players. So it's impressive.
You've covered some really good ones. Where do we need to put Cade Anderson here? What's the legacy as he moves on?
Right? Just in the consistency with which he delivers. It's remarkable. And right, we probably saw maybe his worst outing in the championship finals, and he just found a way to get it done. I think back to, sweating through that regional, and just carrying the load there. Just, again, as dependable as they come. He's up there, man. And again, it's not that crazy stuff that, you think of when you think of schemes, even if we go all the way back to Brian Talent, but there's just that ability to mix and match and get everybody out. It's he's probably in the top 3, I would think. And again, history and perspective will probably solidify that the further removed we get from it, but it's definitely impressive.
I was fascinated by the journey, for me personally, trying to figure Cade Anderson, the guy, out, because he was so short and concise with his answers in February and March when he's just constantly going 5 innings, no runs against a team no one's ever heard of. And I was like, I can't figure this guy out as the ace. I can't figure out if he doesn't want to answer. And I finally kind of, as I walked through the season and heard the answers and then heard Jay talk about him more as we started asking more questions, he's just hyper-focused and, it seemed like a perfectionist. What's your read on Cade and what mentally allowed him to become the ace?
Well, I think there's something else to that, and I'll just kind of give you some insight. He hates talking about himself. He will talk about others all day long, but I've pulled him aside and be like, dude, come on, man, we need a little bit more out of you. He's like, I'm just not going to do it. I hate talking about myself. And I'm like, all right. So you have to really craft a question that's going to be about the team in order to get him to bite. And you saw that in the post-game on-field interview. The dude's getting emotional, right? And thinking about his teammates. And again, that's what I love about this team. It's really all about the team. But the other thing that I'll point out that was impressive to me was Cade's transformation in much the same way that Paul, went away and beefed up and got bulky. I think Cade did the same thing. And I don't think you can look past that. It obviously, it didn't affect his pitchability, but it affected his endurance, and made him the pitcher that he was that we saw this season. So I was talking to Cade about this on the field last night when I think about their paths are so similar from Paul and Cade, and the fact that, they put in the work. They kind of, they had some ups and downs. They put in a ton of work, and it just skyrocketed, into a potential first round, definitely a first round pick, top 5 pick even right now. So just super happy for that guy because he seems to be super grateful and kind of, dispersing the praise around to his teammates. He understands his role, and it was never braggadocious or look at me about any of it. And I think having Anthony there, the two of them really did complement each other and feed off of one another, because there were so many times that we talked about those guys talking to one another, sharing what they see, helping each other along their journey this season. I think that is going to be something that we take for granted. There's so many things on this team I think that we take for granted, right? We can point them out, but then it kind of gets lost because there's another thing that's just as impressive. Luis Hernandez, the defense, the outfield, their ability to really just play as consistent as possible. There's just so many different things, different guys. Chris Stanfield, stepping up with big RBIs when you need them. That's what I love about this club, and I said it a lot right here. I think this is just the total team effort of this one.
What do you think last night meant to Jay?
Validation. I think that is, he won't say it, but I think that's what it meant, that he can take any team and build a team and win. I think that's what it means to him. I think because you and I heard it, right? He bought a team, bought Tommy White, he bought Paul Skeens, right? And so I think this is validation for him that his way works, that he is one of the best, and that, he's going to do it again. I think that's the other thing. The dude does not stop. So that's what I think. I think that he's taking it as fuel, right? And you've talked about it. I've talked about it. He doesn't have a life. This is his life. He loves this place. I'm surprised he got on the plane to go home, right? But he probably got on that plane to go home to have some visits so he can reload this roster. But, yeah, I think it's validation. He's appreciative. Again, he talks about it a lot, about how much he loves the players on this team. Every press conference, that he brings out there with a player. It's the best guy on the team, right? So it's my favorite player on the team. But I think there's some validity to that, right? I really think he loves them all. He doesn't have kids. He's got a roster full of 34 of them, or whatever the number is. So I think he's proud. He's happy for them, grateful for the opportunity, and ready to do it again.
I saw a lot of the video that you took on the field with Jake Brown. I think Gavin Guidry had a big smile on his face with a lot of different folks. I mean, is there a conversation that we haven't brought up that stood out to you that was enlightening or encouraging or interesting?
No, we've covered the bases. How about Josh Pearson not getting an at-bat in the World Series Finals? I thought that was interesting, but, he was just as happy. I think the fact that he got to do it with his brother, and that his brother could be a chance of one to come. No, I just think there's a lot of pieces that went into this. I think of the equipment guy, and the stuff that they do for this team. I think of the support staff. I think of Jamie Tutko. He's the guy that, is just as responsible. I wanted to make sure that Nate Yeske got his flowers yesterday. So I asked the players about Nate, because, again, there's a guy that's brought 4 different programs to the World Series. There's a lot of love to be spread around, and I think they all deserve it. And that's the good thing about this week and the next, right? You get a chance to kind of recap everything. And it'll be a slow time of the season, and we can just kind of dissect it a little bit as much as possible. But no, it's just an amazing accomplishment. It felt kind of like a fait accompli. Like, once they got past Arkansas, you could kind of see this thing coming, but that doesn't make it any less special for sure.
No question about it, Cauble. It's been fun up here. Safe travels back, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, son. Have a good one.
Michael Cauble, sports director, WBRZ Channel 2. I've enjoyed chatting a lot up here with Koki Riley and with Corey Diaz, Daily Advertiser, and with Cauble and with John Eads at Channel 9. They're around these guys 3-4 times a week. I'm on the air when they do midweek interviews. So I do post-game stuff that's a little more structured, and it's in and out, and Jay's trying to do the radio show and then come in. So I've talked to all these guys through the microphone. These guys talk to these guys all year, and I think do an awesome job of doing it. And this team was very interesting from that perspective, that it was really selfless. And I wrote about the 2023 team kind of doing some of that as well. And this year it worked out too. He mentioned Brown and Pearson. Those guys had to platoon, and they never complained about it. And Shores got demoted and never complained about it and showed up huge here. And Braswell lost his shortstop spot and wasn't hitting worth a flip and put a smile on his face the whole time. And, Curiel, who's all-world, gets dumped down in the 7 hole a couple weeks ago and hits a 3-run homer. And, it's just Jay preached tough and together and me over team all year. There's the two he always said, toughness and together, me over team. And they embodied it. And winning has a way of fostering those good vibes, but what you have to try to quantify is like how much of the winning is because they're tough and together and because it's me over team. Like, I never heard any complaining from Ashton Larson. They called themselves the Goon Squad. We're the guys that are going to pinch hit late. Whether Braswell is coming up and we got to put a left-hander in there, or it's him and John Pearson and Jake Brown and Josh Pearson, and Fry was in that number early and hit so well that they had to bring him at DH. But it's just it's a great team to have covered from afar, and for the guys that did it day in and day out, it was just great to kind of get their perspective on it. And Cauble is right there with all of them, so I appreciate Cauble for coming on 3 times as we've been up here over the last week and a half, and kind of sharing that kind of deal. But they were down on the field last night, and it was a really, really cool scene. And that's kind of what I want to talk about in this next segment. We'll get to Kramer Robertson in 15 minutes. Kramer was here and certainly has some thoughts on watching these guys do this. He was on the team that lost to Coastal in 2016. So we talked to Kramer on opening day, and I want to catch up with him again today. But I've got a thought about a portion of this program that I have not mentioned over the first hour and 15 minutes of this program that I have to next.
The Hunt Palmer Show. Live from Omaha, powered by Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health for everybody, and presented by GoFlow Ivy Spa and Yingling Flight. This is The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Gulf Coast Office Products.
Here at the Ameristar, Council Bluffs, Iowa, just across the river from Omaha, Nebraska, where LSU polished off national championship number 8. That trophy is headed back to Baton Rouge. If you are in Baton Rouge and you're thinking, I wonder when the team lands. They just probably landed right now. They are anticipating being back to the box at right about 3 o'clock. So if you're around and want to welcome the team back to Alex Box, you can do that at 3 o'clock. If you just want to wait until Wednesday night at 7 for the national championship celebration, you can do that as well. 7 o'clock, Alex Box Stadium, they will honor the 2025 national champions. Again, the 8th at LSU, and they'll have to put another coat of paint on the Intimidator. Let me try to get through this. I've told y'all a little bit over the last week and a half that I have not done this Omaha trip before. I did the first weekend in 2009 at Rosenblatt. I was there for LSU beating Virginia and then beating Arkansas, and then me and my college buddies drove back home. And then in 2013 I came And I thought that team was loaded, and I was here for the duration of it, and they lost 2 and went home. So I went home. And then 2 years ago, when Tommy White hit that home run, my dad and I booked flights and showed up for the championship series. This is my first time coming for the duration of it. And I saw the crowd for the Arkansas game and the UCLA game and the resumption of that and the Arkansas game on Wednesday, and LSU was well represented. As well represented as anybody outside of Arkansas. They brought a solid number of folks. And I was thinking, man, I wonder if it's just that I saw the perfect storm in 2023 and that was as good as the crowd can get. And maybe I'm overestimating like what LSU does in Omaha because like I saw the best of the best. And I started sitting here where I am right here outside the ESPN Bet Sportsbook in Council Bluffs. And y'all don't know this because 99.99% of you haven't been here for this. But I'm looking right down the lobby. And if you check in and come to the elevator, you have to walk right in front of me. And I watched on Friday and Saturday when I did a show from 1 to 3 on Friday and 2 to 4 on Saturday. I watched purple and gold luggage after purple and gold luggage after purple and gold luggage roll through. And went out on Friday for dinner and saw purple and gold everywhere. And talked to the voice of Coastal Carolina on Saturday before the game, and he said he saw purple and gold everywhere. And when I tell you that sitting in that stadium in the press box on Saturday and Sunday looked like Alec Box Stadium, I am not exaggerating. It did not last week, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Saturday and Sunday, it looked like the box. And I cannot tell you how cool I still think that is. And Skip built this thing and created the monster. And you all, as fans of this program, are part of the monster. And once it got built and you latched on, all of a sudden the combination is just unbelievable. And I know that college baseball does not matter to most sports fans. I know that it doesn't. I'm not naive to that. The West has some good teams. They don't have strong fan bases. The Northeast doesn't care at all. It's too cold in the Midwest. It's a regional sport as far as the top of it is concerned. But in knowing that, I still am just energized and just so impressed by watching LSU come to Omaha and do that. And you get into every single Uber, and the Uber driver's like, man, there's so many LSU people here. We love when LSU's here. And your waiter comes to take your order at the restaurant for lunch or dinner and is like, man, LSU people in here all the time. And you talk to any local around here, and they just love when LSU shows up. And, yeah, Tennessee came last year. So did A&M. And, yeah, Mississippi State and Ole Miss for their titles brought a lot of people up here. But because of the length of time that LSU's been doing it, and just because of the dominance that LSU has exerted on the rest of the sport over the last 30 years, no one's gotten to half of 8. Oregon State's got 3. No one's gotten to half of 8 over that time period. And the fact that the fans keep coming back and keep doing that, whether it's your 7th time back or your first, and I heard from a lot of people on both ends of that spectrum, it is so impressive to me, and it makes, like, I'm not playing, objective journalist here. Like, it makes my heart swell, like, to watch LSU do that. It's important to me. It's always going to be important to me. But seeing so many people that share that passion, it inspires me. It's like I'm planning to make a living the rest of my career catering to that. And to see how strong it is, and that it was not just 2023. It was not just, I got to see Skeens and Cruz in Omaha. No, it's just like they got back to the championship series. Here comes the whole state. And, I mean, just purple and gold everywhere. And this is, some people are like, who cares about the Jello shot board? And really, I don't care about the Jello shot board. It fascinates me, and it's humorous to me that you won by 30,000. And that's not just because LSU fans drink way more than everybody else. It's because there are way more LSU fans here than everybody else. And they won it by 10,000 over Tennessee that was here the whole time last year, and A&M that was here the whole time last year. And, yeah, Gordon buying 8,888 or 888 a day is going to help. But, like, 30,000 is how much LSU won the LSU. They beat the other 7 teams combined. And you look at the Blatt across from the stadium, all purple and gold. And you look at Rocco's. I walked out of the stadium after writing my story in my column. It's all purple and gold. And you go to the team hotel, and it's full. And I went to dinner last night with my dad and his friend, and every table's purple and gold, except the one right next to us was actually Coastal Carolina fans. They seem to be having a good time. But it's just incredible to watch. And if you haven't been to Omaha, you just got to make that trip once. It's really expensive, and it's far away. And I get that. And I'm here because the company wants me here, and sponsors are great enough to support me being here. But it is amazing. And it's inspiring to me. And I love the fact that LSU stands alone at a pedestal that no one else is on. It's just the truth. And if you think it's just me from Shreveport who went to LSU and loves LSU baseball and has this microphone without a dissenting opinion and I'm just being a homer, listen to the D1 Baseball podcast from today. Aaron Fitt is from Massachusetts, went to North Carolina. He just said it. And he follows college baseball 365 days a year. Joe Healy is from South Texas and went to Sam Houston. Has no affiliation with LSU. He says the same thing. Mike Rooney played at Notre Dame, coached in Arizona, just loves the sport of college baseball nationally. He said the same thing. Chase Parham is from Mississippi and covers Ole Miss. I listened to his podcast this morning. He said the same thing. This is not my opinion. This is a universally accepted notion that LSU is just different than everybody else. And I know that the players are incredibly talented, and I spent the first 15 minutes of this show today talking about how great a job Jay Johnson's doing and how much I expect that to continue. This is about the fans. This is about the box, and this is about what that stadium looks like when LSU gets here and has a chance to win the national championship. And if you closed your ears and just listened, it sounds like the box. And if you closed your ears and just looked, and you just look at the coloration of the place, it looks like the box. Whether you're playing Florida, Coastal Carolina. Now, if the day ever comes that LSU plays Arkansas in the final, or A&M in the final, or Mississippi State in the final, or Texas in the final again, like in 2009, I think that it might look a little bit different. There are 4 or 5 that can come up here and put butts in seats, but it's a losing battle because LSU's going to win that battle. And it's just amazing to see. And I wasn't sure as of Friday whether or not that was the case because I didn't know whether or not what I saw the first couple of days was indicative of what it usually is. But you're looking at the championship series, and it completely flipped, and it was really, really cool to see. So we'll talk to Kramer Robertson. He'll join us coming up next, former All-American. He was here in Omaha. Get his thoughts when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Always love telling you about my friends at the Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com. Jonathan Carver and his team, phenomenal folks to work with at the Highland Insurance Group. It's storm season. Make sure your property policy is in good shape because the time to check that is not when the storm blows through. The time to check that is now and be proactive. If you just took the cheapest premium, maybe you want another set of eyeballs before a storm blows through. Jonathan Carver and his team at the Highland Insurance Group are technical experts. They've got dozens of markets. They can place your commercial property policy where it needs to be from a premium perspective and certainly from a coverage perspective. It's the Highland Insurance Group. Check them out online at HighlandIG.com. They're in Baton Rouge. They can help you statewide. Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com.
Live from Omaha, powered by Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health for everybody, and presented by GoFlow Ivy Spa and Yingling Flight. You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Gulf Coast Office Products.
Shout about Gulf Coast Office Products. All your printing, scanning, copying needs, Gulf Coast Office Products, GCOPnet.com, GCOPnet.com. Shout out to Trey Beal and the whole crew at Gulf Coast Office Products. Got commercial needs for printing, scanning, copying, Gulf Coast Office Products, the only call you need to make. It's been a purple and gold invasion up here in Omaha. Part of that invasion, Kramer, Robertson, former All-American. Last time we talked to Kramer was on opening day. I guess it's only fitting the day after the 8th national championship in program history that we chat with him again. Kramer, thanks for the time. How are you, dude?
I'm fantastic today. I'm fantastic after this weekend. It was awesome. It was really
you
cool
come for the championship series? Is that when you got here?
It was, yeah. I got in Friday before the series started and got to see both games. It was a special time.
No question. Is this your first time being in Omaha as a fan?
Yeah, it was my first time back at that stadium since 2017, when the last time I left, when we played Florida. So, yeah, it was conquering some demons there, but it was what a way to do it while beating Coastal too. So it was a special moment for everybody that's in the program right now or has ever been a part of the program.
Tell me your emotions going back there. Obviously, y'all had some great moments as a team in 17, and it didn't end the way you wanted to, but what was that like when you came back?
I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know how I was going to feel. But, after leaving, just gratitude from the players to the coaching staff to all of the fans that just came up to us and said, just told us how much they appreciated watching those teams and that they wanted this for us and that this is we're all a part of this as well. So I just left with a lot of gratitude that I'm such a small part in such a wonderful program. There's nothing like LSU baseball. It's unmatched anywhere else. It is the gold standard of college baseball.
No doubt. And everybody that's been a part of this thing for the last 40 years, Skip's on the field last night and talking with everybody, is just part of a machine that has been running for those 40 years, and you alluded to it there. But you should feel a part of that because it's an amazing, amazing thing. What's your sense on the crowd? I want to talk about this team and about the crowd and the energy in Omaha that LSU brings.
Yeah, man. I got to see it from a totally different perspective. I've been to some games at the box, obviously as a fan since I stopped playing there, but I've never been to a game in Omaha and sat amongst the fans. And to see the energy and to see the passion and how many people are into it. And not only that, they're so knowledgeable. I mean, look at the ovation they were given for Braswell because they know that baseball is more than just a batting average. You don't win that first game without Braswell at third base making those plays or getting stacked bunts down. There's more to baseball, and our crowd knows that. And I think that's so impressive, and that speaks to how long they've been going to these games. And because, goes back to the Skip Berkman days. So this is not only a huge fan base, but it's a knowledgeable fan base.
Let's go to the infield defense. Obviously, I thought it was really fitting that the last play was a double play between those two guys. Milam makes 5 errors on the year. Dickinson with just 3. How'd you like watching those two guys for a full season?
Oh man, it's so fun. I'm pretty sure they broke the season fielding record, if I'm not mistaken, or close to. Yeah, they were impressive all year. The model of consistency, and that's what wins championships is pitching and defense. You saw it in game 1. You won 1-0. You have to pitch and play defense when you get to Omaha, especially in a ballpark like that where runs can be hard to come by. Every run is so valuable. So it's not surprising. Those guys get out there and they work, and I'm just so impressed by Milam to do what he does. And I love an undersized shortstop, so I'm a huge fan of his.
He was talking last night with some local media about LSU kind of being shortstop U. You're certainly part of that, and he wanted to be kind of the next LSU shortstop. And he was playing second base last year, got an opportunity to do it, and he was awesome and came alive at the right time offensively for sure. What about Cade Anderson?
No doubt.
You watched him. Tell me what you see when you watch him pitch.
I mean, he can pitch in the big leagues today. I feel like he's that good, and if he's not in the big leagues this summer, which I don't know if that'll happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in a rotation next year. He's that good. He's got command of all of his pitches, and he didn't even start. He wasn't even sharp to start the game, and he ends up going 130 pitches complete game. Are you kidding me? Like in Omaha to do that in the championship series, I mean that's just a legendary performance that is probably the best I've seen in person. It was pretty special to be there.
Kramer Robertson's our guest, former Tiger All-American, was here in Omaha for the championship series. Can you speak to, because I feel like LSU fans may have a little bit of a warped perspective. When you win 8 championships, you don't see things quite the way everybody else does. You have a little bit of a different perspective playing in the College World Series. How hard it is to win up here against the teams you play. I mean, you all slayed one of the ultimate dragons in an Oregon State team that was 56-4 by the time you beat them twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you've been there and you've played the game, you know how difficult it is to win a championship. So many things have to go right. You have to be lucky. You have to stay healthy, and you have to play well. So it's really difficult. It's astronomical that LSU's been to the finals nine times now and won 8. That's impossible. It just seems impossible, but it's just speaks to the players that have come through this program, and like I said, it is the gold standard. And on so many championships, maybe people think it's a little easier than it is, but trust me, winning a national championship is the hardest thing in the world. I think Jay Johnson, Paul Maneri, and Skip Bertman will all tell you that.
I think your mom might as well. I know that you've watched Jay Johnson work since he took this job. I know that the coaches on that campus pay attention to each other. What do you appreciate about the way Jay Johnson runs his program?
Well, I appreciate everything. The guy's won two championships in 4 years, but what I'm impressed with most by that is he did it different ways. The team this year was they won a national championship so much different than the team in 23. But I think that speaks volumes to Jay being able to adapt to what he has and he's able to go and win and make adjustments with the roster that he does have. So he's won in different ways, and I think that's so impressive because they say in college athletics, it's adapt or die, and I think Jay's proven time and time again now that he can adapt to what he has and he's starting a dynasty. That's 2 and 3 years. I think that we got some of the best coaches in the country on campus. We've got some of the best NIL. It's the biggest brand in college athletics. I think this could be the golden era of LSU sports if things would keep heading in the right direction.
Were any of your other teammates out and about in Omaha this weekend?
Yeah, I saw a few old teammates. It was fun, and a few old managers, and a bunch of people I haven't seen in a few years. So that was really fun getting to catch up and all celebrate together last night after the game. You can imagine, as you know, it's like Mardi Gras. For the people that didn't make it up there, it was like Mardi Gras in Omaha, Nebraska. It was a special scene, and I'm sure the Omaha people love it because we spent a lot of money on alcohol up there. The LSU people have never lost a party, so it was a great time.
It certainly was. Well, I guess if you're going to come on for opening day and we win a national championship, we probably got to pinch you in for next year. So let's plan on that, okay?
Oh yeah, let's plan on opening day next year. We got to do it. You know, baseball guys are superstitious.
Let's do it. All right, have a great summer, Kramer. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Kramer Robertson, former Tiger All-American, was here in Omaha. I just wanted to run down a former player there. I knew Kramer would be good enough with his time. Always appreciate him. And it's interesting to see there's a lot of former players up here. Jared Mitchell was up here. Trey Morgan and Paul Gervais chopped in. How about that? We have Paul Gervais on the show on Friday, and then he gets called up on Saturday. I texted him to come on the show on Friday. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. And, we signed off on the air and said, keep throwing it well. We'll see you in the big leagues. And then, less than 24 hours, he gets called up. So I shot him a text. I was like, hey-ho, nice job. That was quick. So awesome that Paul's going to be up with the Rays starting yesterday, I guess. So very, very cool there, and appreciate Kramer for a little bit of time. That's just a different perspective than Cauble on the media side, than certainly from the national side with Jacob Runner, which we had a little bit earlier. So wanted to get Kramer's thoughts, and certainly do appreciate him for making that happen for us. It's crazy. That stat is wild, that LSU is 8 of 9 in finals. Skip went 5 for 5. Paul went 1 for 2. Now Jay is 2 for 2 when you get to the finish line. That's, again, it's not normal. It's just not normal to make that happen, and LSU is just a different type of beast. And I think it very, very fitting, and a lot of people mentioned this in the Bayou 4 chat. I saw this a lot on Twitter. It was just great that Skip could be there. Obviously, the last couple of months got to be tough, no doubt, with Miss Sandy's passing. But for Skip to hop on the plane and to get to this ballpark and to be on the field post-game, congratulating everybody with a big smile on his face, giving hugs, and to see that, after it's been, since the first LSU national championship, it's been 32 years, 33 years, 34 years, 34 years since they first hoisted that 1991 trophy. And to see that engine is still humming, that he created, is amazing. It's just amazing. And for him to be able to be here was very, very cool. So just a great celebration of LSU baseball. And if y'all know one single thing about me, I'm here for celebrating LSU baseball. And it's been awesome to be here, and it was great to be there inside the stadium last night. Well, I've been here since 2 Thursdays ago. I got one segment left. Come back with me.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Love telling you about Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every single model, all of them, from the entry level to the highest end, from the sedan to the SUV, every single model has gotten the IIHA top safety pick. All of them. And some have been top safety picks plus. When you're in the market for a new vehicle and you determine that safety is one of the most important things you're looking at, or the most important thing to you, you can be rest assured that Genesis of Baton Rouge can provide the highest in safety quality to you. You'll know that you're on one of the safest cars on the road. It's a luxury vehicle. It's got great perks like 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 3 years of valet complimentary maintenance, wonderful staff you can get in touch with, incredible facility, cleanest service aisle I've ever seen. But safety is the most important to a lot of people, and they can help you with that at Genesis of Baton Rouge. Go by and see them, chat with one of their brand ambassadors, and get behind the wheel for the first time at Genesis over at Genesis of Baton Rouge. They're on airline at PICU or online at genesisofbatonrouge.com, genesisofbatonrouge.com.
Live from Omaha, powered by Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health for everybody, and presented by GoFlow Ivy Spa and Yingling Flight. This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Gulf Coast Office Products.
Thanks to the folks at Gulf Coast Office Products, GCOPnet.com, GCOPnet.com for all your printing, scanning, copying needs. They bring you our 2 Monday shows each and every week. I'm still struggling a little bit with the days. It's been quite a go. This has been a great show. I've had a blast. It's a completely different vibe from this show 2 years ago, which I did from Omaha. It was the only show that I did from Omaha. Jimmy and Charlie came up with the station 2 years ago, and I came up with my dad. But we knew that there was a possibility of a Game 3 on Monday, and if that was the case, I was going to just grab the headset from Jimmy and Charlie and do my 2 hours before going over to the ballpark, and that's what ended up happening. But 2 years ago, I'm sitting about 35, 40 feet from where I am right now and thinking about Game 3 with Jack Caglione on the mound and Thatcher Hurd getting the start, we think. And is Skeens going to pitch? Is he not going to pitch? Is there too much of a Florida offensive momentum after last night's whipping that LSU took? And it was just a completely different vibe than the euphoria that we got yesterday evening, and then the relief that comes with today's show, knowing that it's all put to bed and that LSU swept through the College World Series for the first time since the year 2000. It's been an awesome run of shows. There's one order of business left to do, and that's a little bit of take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Just take it or leave it.
Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. It is summertime. No more tailgating for this summer, but tailgating will be coming around in September. You want a cool, crisp, refreshing light beer, Flight by Yingling, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, the oldest brewery in America. It's singing. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
All righty, first one here. A 5 a.m. flight tomorrow morning. Take it or leave it.
Leave it. It's 5:25. Give me the extra 25 minutes of sleep, please. I need that, please. It's going to be important.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm done here. I'm going to go write a quick story for the website. I think me and my dad are going to go play some indoor mini golf. I did that 2 Thursdays ago, and it'll be an early morning. He's got like a 6:30 headed back to Shreveport, and I've got a 5:20. 5:25. So it's going to be a tough scene in the airport, but I'm ready to get home, ready to see the wife and 2 kiddos that I've not seen in a long time. So I'm excited to get this moving. It's going to be pitch black. I don't know if Ubers are coming at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm at a 24-hour casino. I got to think somebody will show up and take me to the airport.
All right, next one here. LSU will win at least one more championship in the next 5 years. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. I mean, you're talking about a program right now that is humming. It's going to be really hard. Tennessee is awesome. I think Texas is going to be a bear with Schlossnagle there. I don't think Kelvin O'Sullivan's time is done there at Florida. You've got really good programs. Dave Van Horn is still knocking on that door, so it's going to be very difficult to do. But I don't know that there's anybody would want running the program except Jay Johnson, the way that things are humming right now. So I'll take it. I have no reason right now to believe that it's not going to happen again soon, and I hope to be here for it.
All right, another champion was crowned on Sunday. Oklahoma City Thunder got it done in Game 7. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton did go down early in that game, and after that, the floodgates kind of opened, and the Thunder got their first championship in franchise history. The Thunder will win at least one more championship in the next 5 years. Take it or leave it.
I'll leave it. NBA feels like it goes in cycles. Post LeBron and Steph, you kind of have everybody pop up and get their one and then put their head back down. We've seen that with Boston. We saw that with Denver. Denver, and we saw that with the Bucks. I'm thinking Minnesota, the Bucks and the Timberwolves, because of their location and complete ineptitude my whole life before Giannis got there, they seem to be similar, and I confuse them often. But yes, you got that one title with Giannis. But yeah, it post Steph and LeBron feels like everybody kind of gets their one and goes back away. I think that could happen. Although Sam Presti, very good at his job. Very good.
All right, last one real quick. Keegan Bradley got the win the Travelers Championship on Sunday, and that was, of course, got a little help from Tommy Fleetwood there with a little bit of a choke job down the stretch there. But Keegan will play as a Ryder Cup captain. Take it or leave it.
I will take it. He cracked last night on Live From, said, yeah, the win changes things. First of all, his team looks atrocious on paper, so he needs to pick himself because he's one of the only decent American players at this point. And I think it was his intent not to play, but he likes the Ryder Cup more than I think anybody on that team.
And he got snubbed the last one, so...
He did. I think he's going to dump himself in there and rely on those as vice captains to do a lot of heavy lifting, and they're guys that have done that a lot. So I think that there's little chance he doesn't. Are you on the same page?
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs to play. He really is one of the best 7 or 8 American players right now in golf. So he would be doing the team a disservice if he didn't play. I know it's going to be hard for him to call on himself and leave somebody else out, and you know what guys might think of that of choosing himself. But he is one of the best. I think he should, and I do think the Ryder Cup team will be better off if he does play. That is it for Take It or Leave It, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Shout out to Flight by Yingling. All right, LSU has arrived back at Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field, with their 8th national championship. If you'd like to be a part of the celebration that honors this team for their incredible accomplishment, it'll be Wednesday night at Alex Box Stadium at 7 o'clock. So be sure and get on out to that one. The one 2 years ago was like 9,000 degrees. I haven't checked the forecast for LSU for Baton Rouge, but
yeah, it's 9,000.
I do know that the high tomorrow in Omaha is 81. Now there's a huge chance of rain, so it's just going to be cloudy and gross all day. But it was real hot up here, but still, it was awesome. And look, I can't thank our sponsors enough. Our Lady of the Lake, GoFlow IV Spa, and Yingling. I can't thank y'all for listening enough. I can't thank y'all that came by and to see me at the Ameristar enough. It's just been an incredible experience for me. And LSU capped it off and got it done. I've done enough here in Omaha. I'm going to catch a flight home in the morning. I'm going to be in the studio tomorrow for our show. Have a great Monday. The Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.